Are you ready to listen to a podcast?
Here comes the Playhouse Podcast, thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices.
Find, subscribe, and listen.
All right, so I was listening to this audio of Harry Styles, and he was describing this really vivid childhood memory that just brings him good vibes.
I'd say probably the biggest stuff would probably be, there was a river, it's called the River Dane, where, everyone would go down in the summer and you'd buy those little disposable barbecues you used to take, and someone would be in charge of buying sausages and someone would have to buy the drinks. You try and squeeze somehow 12 sausages onto this tiny thing.
But that's his greatest memory is squeezing 12 little sausages onto a barbecue, huh?
It's been your biggest nightmare.
I've been avoiding that my whole life.
I know. No, he just said it was just a really fun time, and he always looked forward to it. They would do it during the summer, and they'd be on holiday and go enjoy themselves. And it got me thinking, what would be Liam's answer? When he's Harry.
Probably when he got to hang out with me that one day.
That one day, yeah. I don't know. I try to give him amazing experiences. What would be your fondest childhood memory?
This is going to sound weird and egotistical, but the thing that pops into my head the most, now that my parents are gone, the thing that I think about the most as far as a childhood memory is the hug my dad gave me when I threw my first no-hitter.
Oh, yeah.
It was because it was the biggest bear, all my vertebrae cracked.
Yeah.
It was one of those, and he was so not an emotional guy, but after the game, he was head up, hats off, shake hands, it was very stern about it. But after the game was it was you could feel the pride come through.
Yeah.
That's probably it for me. I think about that moment a lot.
I would say when we lived in Guam, we were at the beach every single day. We'd get home from school, wait for my mom to get home from school, and she and my dad would pack us up in the Guam bomb, and we would head down the hill, and we would park in this abandoned parking lot of this hotel that was the person that was building it couldn't afford to build it anymore.
Okay.
So just left it. And we would park there and we would walk down 200 stairs down this cliff to the beach. And we would set up and then we'd walk down to, Wet Willie's was the bar. So you'd have all these drunk adults and we would play in the sand pit that had a lot of cigarette butts, but I don't know what it was. It was
that's a great childhood memory.
Yeah, it was, because I'd look over, my parents would be, my mom would have that margarita and the red teeth, and my dad would be telling a story to the other guy. And I don't know what it was. The warm air, the salt water.
That was a feel.
It was a feel. It was a vibe. And I would love to go back to Guam just to see how it is. I think it's very commercially taken over.
When you are picked on and bullied extremely as a youth, just hearing the word Wet Willie, it got me a little PTSD right there. So
I forget
I forgot about half that story, but yeah, if you got a really great childhood memory, obviously Harry's got sausages on the brain.
Yeah,
Kat's thinking about digging around in a bunch of sand with cigarette butts.
Sure.
Mine, I feel was a little bit more fond. But if you've got one that would be really, really cool to share, definitely text or call. I'd love to hear it. You never played Keno before?
I don't gamble. I don't have that. I can't.
I don't. Somebody will correct me on this. I don't know how many numbers are in Keno, but basically, there's 100 numbers, maybe there's 50, but regardless, it's ping pong balls come out, and the machine picks out. Okay, so I don't know. You're gonna have to. It's hard for me to explain, but basically, if you can correctly predict which ping pong balls get selected out of the 100, you win a whole bunch of money.
How could you possibly guess a number?
Well, you don't. So
in a limited amount of time.
Let's say there's 100. Let's say there's 100 balls.
Yeah.
You are going to maybe guess 7.
Yeah.
If you hit on 3, maybe you get your money back. If you hit on 4, maybe you win $1. If you hit on 5, maybe you win $20. And on 6 and on 7, then you win $10,000. It's just an odds game. I don't know if it's good odds at the casino either. I think your odds are always better at card games than they are at.
When I do blackjack, if I have a casino gig and they pay me there, and then I'll do $20. That's it. But then I lose it, and then I'm that's 4 specialty coffees at Starbucks.
You can't equate it to something else like that.
How not? How can you not?
Because you got because
people lose all the time. They're oh my God, there's my water bill. There's my rent.
You don't gamble your water bill. You gambled 4 coffees. I know, but you gambled 4 coffees, and you didn't have that money. You didn't have that money before you showed up there. That's the way you got to look at that. You got to say, "Hey, I was blessed enough to be a dopey MC for Bret Michaels. They're going to pay me a bunch of money to say, hey, everybody, Bret Michaels."
Yeah.
and then you could go spend it back. What's wrong with giving it back?
Because it's mine now.
You're going to
That's
give it
my
to somebody
copy.
else, right?
You're weird logic today. That's
You-
weird logic. All right, so this is Naomi Watts. She is an actress, an Australian actress, and she is talking about what she thought was a haunted experience where she used to live.
I've been in houses where I've been, scared by outside noises like animals and things and thinking that someone's trying to break into my house. I do remember having, possums scratching on the roof once obsessively and not knowing where the sound was coming from. If you're on your own, that's not a good sound.
Pull it together.
I'll take possums any day. Something that you can see and
I'll
chase
possum.
away. Opossums any day. But the things that you can't see that go bump in the night. What are your haunted stories? I did stay at the Palmer house. I told you about that experience. That was terrifying.
Really, what was so terrifying about it? Explain that to me. What would make me scared?
So we did a ghost walk in their basement.
Did you see a lot of ghosts?
Incredible. Felt a lot of stuff. It was
You mean a breeze?
hard to explain. And then we go upstairs for lunch or dinner, and then we play some Scrabble. And then we retire.
That's
to
when
our
the
room.
ghosts get really mad, is when you play Scrabble.
Anyway, and then we're laying there, and I shared a room with another coworker, and we had to wake up early because we had gigs in the morning. So we had our alarm set for like 6 a.m. And some reason I woke up at like 1 a.m. My eyes open, and I'm just kind of sitting there, and I'm about to close my eyes. The light in the bathroom goes on. Okay. And so I nudged the girl next to me. I'm like,
You're sleeping in the same bed? Like a twin bed with another girl?
like a queen bed.
That's what we should be talking
We're not
about more
snuggling.
than this.
I don't know if you want that
Were you a big
story.
spoon or a little spoon?
I was not a spoon at all. And so I
Fork.
nudge. She's snoring away, doesn't wake up. And then I close my eyes, like I'm just going to ignore it. And then my eyelids go dark. I open my eyes. The light went back off. Does this 4 more times. Our alarm goes off at 6. I hadn't slept.
So hold on, this was so scary that you just laid there watching
I just
the ceiling?
laid there. Yes. And then I hear her wake up. It's 6 a.m. And I said, the light has been going off in the bathroom on and off all night. She's like, no way. Boom. Goes on. And that's it. I mean, it was so scary. So what's your haunted house story, haunting story?
I don't have one because this isn't real.
Okay. I will accept any.
Katie, though, this is Aunt and Uncle's house, and what's going on?
There was a room right off the upstairs bathroom where you could hear what sounded like stuff clawing the walls at night.
Okay.
And what it was there was a hidden room behind that room. Like you dropped the laundry chute down and you could get into the hidden room behind the bedroom.
Sure.
And then my aunt and uncle lived in it after us with their kids, and none of them would even sleep in that room where the hidden room was behind, and all of them have stories that they can tell you from living there as well.
That's where
Thank you, by the
it
way.
gets believable when everybody has specific stories. Nobody talks about them until someone starts the conversation. Then you're like, oh my God, yes, I was in the kitchen and I heard the same thing.
Humans are social creatures. We want to be like the next human. So if dad says, hey, I heard some scratching, mom's going to say something, the kids are going to say something, even if it didn't happen. This is malarkey.
You can't possibly work where we work in one of the most haunted buildings downtown and be a naysayer. You
I
just
will
can't.
forever tell you that I'm in here more than any other person by myself at weird hours over the last 20 years, and I have never once seen anything that's not explainable.
They're coming. What did you see on texting? We got a picture of someone that captured
A ghost?
a ghost in a photo.
Oh, my gosh.
I swear in this picture I see a ghost. This is from a basement in a house in Savannah, Georgia, which is supposed to be one of the most haunted cities in the U.S. To the left of the yellow blob, it looks like a little boy in a tux.
Shut up. Get the hell out of here. Stop with this nonsense.
Little boy in a tux.
I did not see that.
It looks like President Garfield, doesn't it?
That's your favorite president.
He was.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Right
Unless he
behind
wasn't.
Taft.
Unless he wasn't. I don't know too much about Garfield.
Stephanie, you claim that you grew up in a haunted house?
Yes.
Tell me about it, please. Convince me.
So every night at 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. exactly, our VCR would turn on and start playing a video or whatever tape was in there. And it happened every single night.
You think maybe somebody programmed it to happen at 10 p.m. every night?
That's very poltergeisty.
Yeah, I don't know, but I actually had the basement bedroom in our house, and we had like the drop down tile for the ceiling.
Okay.
And one of the tiles were missing, and I was laying in the dark talking to one of my girlfriends, and I swear on everything, I had looked up because my bed was right underneath the missing tile, and there was a white figure like staring at me.
Okay.
Like President Garfield?
I don't think it was President Garfield.
Okay.
You'd know.
Yeah. He's got a regal appearance.
And how has this affected your life moving forward? Do you constantly check things before you go to bed?
Do people never believe you?
I believe you.
My mom believes me. She is pretty much the one that was like, yeah, our house, there's someone here.
Yeah. Have you ever had like people walk through and confirm that for you? Because it's nice to have like somebody at least acknowledge it.
Who's going to walk through?
A paranormal investigator.
Jesus, I need
EVPs.
that job.
Yes, no?
Yeah, nobody's ever walked the house, no.
Stephanie, you don't go around telling, it's fine for you to call into, the radio show, but you don't like tell your friends this stuff or your coworkers that you believe this stuff, do you? Because I can't imagine that they're looking at you the same way if you do.
I don't go around like blurting it out to people, but.
And these are fine stories at the bar or for the radio, but you don't tell like the people you respect these stories.
There are groups, though.
Right.
We meet every Wednesday at the library.
Now, do you genuinely believe that you grew up in a haunted house? You could say this on a stack of Bibles.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. I believe your truth, girl.
Can I just ask what you do for a living? Like, how do you make your money?
I work at an OBGYN clinic.
Nice. All right.
Fair enough.
I don't know why I reacted
Thank you,
like
Stephanie.
that.
Have a great morning.
Bye, Stephanie.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Oh, I got to book my annual. I keep forgetting. It's this mom who's gone viral in not the best way. A lot of people are turning on her for choosing to wax her 3-year-old's unibrow.
The day that I recorded me waxing Bliss's eyebrows is because she said that she wanted her eyebrows waxed. At any point, they say, hey, I think I want to rock a unibrow. Then rock the hell out of that unibrow.
I could totally understand from a parent's point of view. You don't want your kid to suffer. You don't want your kid to be the victim of a bully. From my opinion, it's a little bit too preventative.
A child might say, well, kids have noticed that I have hairy legs or arms or unibrow or something, and I want to remove the hair. And the parent in that circumstance has come to me to ask, is that safe? And I say, as long as the child wants to do it, then any hair removal is safe.
So I was watching the video while that was going.
Jeez.
She looks very much in pain, as we all are.
God.
When we get it done. But I do see both sides. As a mom, you don't want anybody having any excuse to look at your child sideways. So I get that. But I don't know. I just think 3 years old to start the motion in the brain of the vein, it's like you don't need to worry about.
So you would let
unibrow.
them just have a unibrow at 3 years old?
If there's another 3-year-old at daycare that's making fun of a unibrow, then that's very odd to me. They don't care about that stuff when they're little.
You're going to wax it when they're not. It's a quick rip of a strip.
I did go to a water park
It's like a
once,
Band-Aid.
though, and there was like she was probably 3 or 4, this little girl, and her back was so hairy. So I don't know if she had like a growth situation or if it was region. I don't know what it was, but
Courtney, 3-year-old waxing the eyebrows, mad or unmad about something like this?
I'm a little mad. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, and that's okay.
The reason why is because okay, 3-year-olds. Hey, I want to go to Candy Mountain. Okay, that's fine. Hey, I want to go get a tattoo. Okay, wait a minute. I know it's a little more extreme.
But you get a temporary tattoo. You can't get a temporary ununibrow.
Correct, but also in the same sense too, you're kind of teaching them at a young age, a certain level of what society wants to as well. Yes, I get not getting bullied, but let's be honest. When we were 3 years old, or let's see, until like 4th grade, I have a unibrow, and I still look cute, and guess what? It's the confidence, it's the things that you teach them internally to not let those people bother you.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem. People are so focused on beauty and what they look like on the outside, which, don't get me wrong, I love beauty. But the fact of the matter is you're teaching somebody at such a young age, what else are you going to be teaching them later on?
I don't think this 3-year-old would ever know that she had extra hair somewhere that is, according to society, not normal. I have it paused. I literally have the video paused on, ow, that hurts. That's what the little girl said.
Of course it hurt. Her taking off a Band-Aid, too. You know what? The little Neosporin and a Band-Aid on the knee. Oh, my gosh. She took the Band-Aid off. She's such a horrible mother.
Just to cause your kids some unnecessary hurt is...
Hey, Courtney, do you have a daughter?
I do.
Were you
I have a 20-year-old daughter.
Okay, when she was really little, did you get her ears pierced?
No, I waited till she was 17.
Wow. Okay, so how do you feel about those people that go in while they're little babies and then get their ears pierced? Do you hate those people too?
It's tough to watch.
No. There's a difference. There's a cultural difference. Sometimes people that's what they do, and that's where I guess my balance is the non-judgmental on that behalf. So
yeah,
I don't hate people for that. I don't necessarily hate the mother for that, but I just think that she's sending a wrong message.
Let's get into that conversation. Let's everybody talk about what we hate each other for.
That's not fun. We want to be a fun, bubbly
That's not
show.
fun. This is a positive. This is a good morning.
So
Come on, guys.
You're saying no to the unibrow. You wouldn't do it until that child was how old?
I'd say until they're at least 11, 12 years old, because at least then hormones, are a little bit more at that point, and they understand. Because if you're a 3-year-old doesn't understand that if you get your eyebrow waxed, okay, and the stylist, or whoever's doing it, mom or whoever, the skin is very, very sensitive already. So you could be having a lot of issues later on. You could actually create scarring. You could actually create some blood vessels that could be broken. Like, there are a lot of other things that could happen, and now you're just creating another, issue.
So I think as a mom,
you're going to have another beauty issue.
I think as a mom, it's our job to make sure our kids are the most confident. I always told Liam, listen, if you get acne, we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that you are feeling confident about your complexion. It's like the parents that are like, oh, just go wash your face with some water. And then they don't realize what they have to deal with when they go to school. So I'm all about making sure your kid feels confident. Maybe wait until the first day she comes back from school and she's like, some kids were making fun of my one eyebrow. Then you can go get it done.
You said I look surprised all the time, Mom.
Dubious, almost. Are you on TikTok or you're not on TikTok?
I've got a TikTok. I just don't spend much time there.
So you could probably spend a lot of time just swiping. And now there's a new trend. It's called drunk confessions.
Oh.
And this is where you either confess to something that you did while you were drunk, or while you were drunk, confess something to somebody. And there is
it's dangerous.
It's really dangerous. I've never been a loose-lipped girl when I drink. I just have fun, I laugh, and then I cry. So that's kind of the roller coaster I go on. I still keep my sense. I've never blacked out. I've never drank so much that I ruined relationships, But there are some people that automatically blame it on alcohol, where they're like, sorry, I said that. Must have been the Jack and Coke. Well, that's not an excuse. You can't say that stuff and then expect there to not be consequences after. So I thought we could play the radio version of Drunk Confessions.
Here's what I definitely don't want is your name. So when you call, come up with a different name.
Or I don't want names.
I don't want to be called into some court case because of this.
Yeah.
This happens every once in a while. Somebody will come on the air and they'll blabber about this or that. And then we'll get a call the next day from whoever's attorney saying, hey, can we get the audio of that? Man, I don't want to get caught up in that again.
Yeah. So whether it is a confession that you made to somebody, you know what? I love the ones that are so innocent where you walk up to somebody that you have thought about for a long time. And then you're like, listen, I just needed some liquid courage. And you are so hot and funny. And I'm so attracted. Those
when has that ever
ones.
Worked? That's never
just
worked.
Just because no one's ever done it to you.
No, I've never done it either.
You've never drunkenly walked up to a chick?
I do this. So I used to do it sober all the time.
Oh, God.
I wanted to remember that letdown. That's what fuels my rage.
It sounds so dangerous.
Drunken confessions are the topic right now. This seems to be a hot thing on TikTok. So we thought, all right, let's open the radio. for your drunken confessions. If you had to go back in the day, would you have any right now? Like you'd go back and you'd be like, oh, I should probably confess this.
I would not want to. I have like 2 things that I'm not proud of, and both are out of Fargo. You know, you really live life in Fargo if you know you only have 365 days. Because then if you leave the lifers.
There's a really funny story in my past that I still feel kind of bad about. There was a kid named Brian who was a freshman when I was a junior in college. And these kids would come to party at our house. And this kid fell asleep late one night. And we shaved the inside of one of his eyebrows and the outside of the other one off. So it looked like his whole face was off center. And
Why?
Because it was super funny.
What would you do if you were the one that fell asleep and that happened to you? How would you handle that?
I don't know. You don't know. But here's the deal. You wake up, you walk your stumbling self back to the dorms. You probably take a shower. You probably take a nap. And then you don't notice till people are looking at you cockeyed in the cafeteria that somebody's going to say, dude, somebody shaved your eyebrows.
Yeah.
And what I do remember is like a week later seeing him on campus and he had shaved them all off. Like it was all off. And if you've ever seen somebody without eyebrows, it's a look, man.
Just to mess with someone's appearance, that's not nice. But like to draw something on their face, that's funny.
I also had a streak of probably a good 3 months my sophomore year that anyone's house that we go to, I'd upper deck.
Yeah, that's pretty awful.
And
when's the last time truly you
the last
did that?
time I really did an upper decker?
Give me an age.
42.
If people could see my face right now, that's why I wish we had a little TV in here because I'm so disappointed.
Yeah, me too, now that I think about it.
I'm glad.
That's something that that should stay in your 30s and your 20s.
All right. Drunk confessions. We're doing the radio version, not the TikTok version.
We don't want names either. So, Lady A, we're going to call you because your first name starts with A. Go ahead. What you got for us?
Oh, God. So, I haven't heard anything back yet, and I'm at a point now because maybe I'm not ever going to hear back from this girlfriend of mine. I'm like, I think I screwed things up. So anyway, she told me in confidence, swear, cross your heart, hope to die, that you don't tell anybody. But she felt guilty because she's dating this guy. He's really nice. He comes from money, and she went to visit for the first time his mom.
Yeah.
Fancy house, beautiful thing. So she went to use the bathroom, and the mother said, "Oh, just go upstairs, downstairs. Go through my bedroom and go in, blah blah blah." And so she went to use the bathroom off the mother's room, and she kind of saw the jewelry that was lying on the bureau.
Yeah, holy klepto, Batman. Why would I would never, like with my normal mind, look at somebody's bureau and then like go and take some of their stuff. That's terrible.
No kidding. So, but she figured like she won't even miss this one pair of earrings. So
that's what I was thinking.
That's what kleptos say.
I was thinking she's never going to miss this if she has money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she told me this in confidence, and then we all went out partying this weekend, and I got a little, tipsy, and I told him, I'm like, so did your mother ever say anything about these earrings? And so I don't know. So I'm sure that she now knows that he knows, and I'm sure I'm the only one she told. So
do you remember what his face did when you told him? Like, was he upset or was he like, that's her?
Well, it was kind of blurry, and I'm only seeing like pictures, because I was gone. And but it was like, remember, that painting, The Scream?
Yeah. That's what your night was like? Just a big blur. Okay.
That was what his face was like when I told him that she swiped earrings off his mom's bureau.
All right. Well, there's a drunk confession for you. I hope it turns out. Sorry you have loose lips there. All right, so Uber Eats, they began delivering marijuana for the first time ever this week, and they are taking it slow.
This is the first time that a major online delivery platform in the world is delivering cannabis, so we want to make sure we get it right. So we're going to be seeing how the experience goes for the retailers, for our consumers over the coming weeks, and we'll see where things go.
Don't get too juiced yet. This is just in Toronto, right?
Yeah, and the company is Leafly, and one of the biggest concerns is getting robbed. I mean, you're delivering weed. Yeah. It's not French fries. It is, there's probably fries with it.
Probably.
But, I mean, that is something that if you are an Uber Eats delivery driver, I would be very concerned about.
I'm guessing it's going to be a small enough amount. Like, you won't be able to order 10 pounds of it. You know,
weed is weed. If somebody wants
I know, but
some,
if the value is only $25, they're not going to rob you for that.
And I think it's just the person that orders knows what's coming to them. So hopefully it just looks like a delivery
or
of.
they don't start just targeting Uber Eats thinking they got weed.
Exactly. So.
Good morning, old friends.
Sir, where's your beard?
Where's your beard?
Where's my beard?
Did you shave? Your beard is troubling.
Today is National No Beard Day.
Just ready for adventure. Okay. Showtime.
You can't celebrate. Derek can't celebrate. A lot of guys around here have beards and can't celebrate. But today is Happy National No Beard Day. This is for the guys that can't grow a beard, that it's like the sporadic patches. They're maybe a bit embarrassing. And so you just keep it nice and freshly smooth. I dig a beard. Beards are my fave.
I've adapted the I just am not going to shave look for a while.
Yep.
Then I'll knock it down, and then I just won't shave. I can't remember the last time I actually shaved my face.
Yeah, it looked good with the growth when your neck was broken. So I don't know if you want to go that route again. And
it was
wear
too
that
much.
Collar.
It's just too much, man. I can't let it go more than probably like a week and a half before I got to knock it down. It's just
too much.
It's too itchy. So I was reading this, and I thought this was a little bit odd. If your parents spent months agonizing over what your name would be, or did they just look at you and shrug and say, Chad is fine?
Mm-hmm.
If so, they were probably onto something. Guys are more likely to have easy to spell names. Women are likely to love their middle names a little bit more.
I just think there are so many other unique places to go with girls' names than guy names.
Well, and lately, if you have friends that have had babies, they start throwing a bunch of G's and H's and N's and M's and P's in there that are silent.
Yeah.
Like, when did Megan get an H? Growing up, all the Megans I knew were all the MEGAN versions.
My cousin Megan is MEAGHAN.
Oh, you're killing that child.
I know.
Oh, they can never go to Disney World to get something pre-printed.
She's not normal.
So here's what I wanted to do. Will you call us if you have a name that you think is a little bit off the beaten path?
While we had that song on, we had a Genevieve write us, Constance, and then an Annalise.
Constance.
Yeah.
CONSTANCE, right?
I expect a lot from a Constance. I feel like a Constance, you should be confident.
It's regal.
You walk around with your shoulders back. I feel like you'd be a lot to run into.
And a Genevieve, on the other hand, I think you'd probably be a good time.
A Lorelei texted.
Laura, from the song? Is that a Styx song?
But
right?
I mean, you're texting, so we know how to spell it now.
Here's what you need to do, real quick. If you have a name that you think is a little bit different, will you call, please? And what I want to do is I want to see if I can spell it. We know that it's Miss A on line 3 over here. Good morning. How are you?
Good. Do I say my name?
Yes, please.
And then we'll spell it.
My name is Anel.
Anel. Okay,
how old are you, by the way, Anel?
Hello.
What are you?
How old are you?
I'm 8.
Okay, so that puts you in second grade or first grade?
Third.
Third grade. Oh, my gosh, you are such an overachiever. All right, Anel. Kat, how would you spell that?
Or on track. Okay, I'm going to say, is it Anelle?
Yes.
Oh, you got it, Kat. Hey, congratulations.
I'm pretty good with spelling. Like, we get a lot of texters, and I see them come in, and then we have to label it. And so I've seen the spelling of different names, but I've never seen an Anel.
Are you the only Anel in your school?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever met another Anel?
No.
Yeah. And is Mom right there with you? Can we talk to her?
I gotta go, but you guys are my favorite.
Oh, well, you're the best. Have a great day. We just wanted to ask Mom and Dad if they were hippies. All right. The thing we're talking about right now is the fact that guys, according to the research, have much easier to spell names. And again, sometimes your parents don't put a whole lot of thought in it. Tim, Chad.
And also, if you have a name that is easily misspelled, don't get upset at people. Like,
you got to blame Mom and Dad, man.
Yeah, that's not our problem.
They wanted to make you unique, Megan, with an H.
Yeah. Cameron with a Y.
No.
Carson with a Y.
Miss V, we don't know your first name yet, but we know it's going to be tough to spell. So we're assuming it starts with a V.
Yes.
It is.
I mean, it's not tough to spell. It's just different.
Okay, what is it?
Okay, my name is Vanessa.
Oh, I knew it. I'm literally psychic.
Yeah,
I
go
can't even
ahead.
tell you, but Vanessa.
Or is there like an H at the end because mom and dad were hippies?
You want me to tell you?
Yeah. Huh?
Oh, so it's Vannessa.
Oh, there's two N's in there. You got
Stop now.
Never seen it before.
Stop that. Yeah, because it doesn't make sense.
No.
That's why you've never seen it.
Doesn't make sense.
Do you feel like you fit
And I'd like to say it was what?
Go ahead. You'd like to say it was what?
Oh, I like to think there was like a nice story as to why they did it, but I think it was just an accident. I think they just accidentally wrote two N's on my birth certificate.
Your
so.
parents are horrible spellers and you've got to suffer because of it?
Yeah. Too many drugs for mom, I think. I don't know.
Let's hope not.
Now, were your parents unique like that? Were they like out there?
No.
Or were they just like she was an accountant
and
and
Ashley.
And is it GH for the Ashley?
Nope, Ashley. Very simple.
That's it. And you look at them every single Christmas and go, God, what were you guys doing here?
Oh my God, my sister-in-law is Ashlee, and I can't even tell you. Like my brother's like, don't get it wrong.
That makes
don't
the tips
ever
of
get it
my
wrong.
ears hot.
I know.
I get angry because I hear that.
Yeah.
All right, Vanessa with the now you have to every time you call the show from now on, you have to say, guys, it's Vanessa with two N's, and then we'll know exactly who you are.
I'll do
okay?
it. It'll be me every single time because there's not another one out there.
Awesome.
You're always welcome. Have a great morning.
Thank you,
Take
too.
care.
Bye.
Guys, here's Skylar. It's not Skyler, right?
That's correct.
Now, let's get some background to this. Your parents decided to give you a unique name and spell it all sorts of crazy, wacky ways. Why?
Irish whiskey.
Okay, so in our system, I don't know where we got it at one point. So is it? Are you done?
Yeah, no, it makes good sense. Now I know why it's spelled this way.
SCHUYLER. Am I right? Shoot.
You nailed it.
Wow.
Did I really?
Have you ever met another Skylar or seen another name like yours?
I've ran into quite a few that spell it differently, but nothing the same as mine. I think the first time some lady was yelling, "Skylar, get back here," and it was in a Walmart forever ago. That was like a 6-year-old kid just yelling at.
Do you look at the other Skylars, the SKYLERs, as a little bit more hillbilly than you, and you feel like you're a little bit more regal and established?
Well, especially with the AR.
Yeah.
The ER is not as bad, but AR,
yeah,
not even in the same boat.
Yeah, it's a little scholarly, man. That's a lot of pressure. I don't know if I'd want to live under that.
No pencils, no keychains. Did anyone get you an SKYLER keychain? Just say deal with it.
Sky. I get Sky quite a bit.
Oh, Sky.
Yeah. And then they screw that up too because it's not even SKY.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Does it make you angry, or are you just living with it?
I live with it. SKY is close enough. I normally got Schuler quite a bit if you look at the phonetics. So,
yeah.
You own a shoe store.
Right.
Let's begin now.
And here we go with the Tuesday show. How's Kat feeling?
I am good. How are you?
Good, man.
Good, man.
What did you yesterday?
I did some cleaning, and then I had Derek pick up this organizer, like ones with the long drawers, a 3-tier, and I made Liam go through all of his guys, all of his cars, like little action figures or whatever.
Sure, you're purging toys no longer used.
I am, but I mean, he only got rid of like an eighth of what was there, but that's okay. Like, I wanted to just have it all in one place instead of 3 different bins. And so he did that. And then I cleaned a little bit, and then I took him to the community center where I had my 2-hour-long baseball board meeting. And he swam with a friend and then played some basketball. And then went home, had some veggie nudes, and watched 90 Day Fiancé.
How are you changing the game of baseball for the better, Kat?
I made $6,000 with concessions this past.
So you're not doing anything for the game. You're just trying to make some money for the association.
That's never been my goal, to help out the game.
Not to try and be better, just to get money.
That's not my member.
Just money hungry.
Yeah, responsibility.
Grubber.
I'm only in charge of hot dogs, and that's it. And I'm okay with that. So,
what was the biggest lesson you learned from doing it for the first year? Don't have moms. Don't rely on moms.
No, just to not count on just myself to do things. Like, I need to rely on other people. And I think that's why I got so stressed out, because I would and I'm going to bulk order everything in the beginning.
There it is.
Because I got from Becker Home Furniture, they gave me this huge like brown rolly closet that I lock everything in. And I'm like, I'm just going to stock that mother and then not have to run to Costco in the middle of the weekend to get chips. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to do that, take a load off and count on people a little bit more. And I was so surprised. I'm not going to blast moms, but I was so surprised how many moms of like 4 kids did not know how to make ramen, like a cup of noodles. I got calls, I got texts. Hi, so much water do we put in this? I'm like, have you never been poor? What is your deal? And so that was like my biggest challenge this season.
Sounds like you have a people problem.
No, it sounds like they have a ramen
problem.
noodle problem.
Yesterday, football practice.
Yeah.
I discovered that we on our team have one superhero, and he goes by the name of not fully evolved yet, man.
Okay. Oh, so we're not doing a name.
Oh, it's Max.
Oh, Max.
So when the wind chill is 21 degrees Fahrenheit,
yeah,
all of us smart coaches show up on the field with choppers, boots, jeans, insulated sweatshirts, stocking caps, but then there was
Maximilian.
Max, the not fully evolved yet human being. And here's why. He's one of my favorite kids on the team. Never less than 100% effort. And I like this kid a lot. But he didn't even have a shirt on under his shoulder pads yesterday with a mesh top all day at practice. Tucked up under so that his belly was out.
Yep.
No sleeves, nothing.
Were there girls around?
No.
Okay.
But for 3 hours, we stood outside and practiced.
Yeah.
Because this is a short week because of MEA. We got a game on Wednesday. This kid did not have gloves on. He didn't have a scully on. He had nothing to retain his body heat.
Oh my God.
And at the end of the day, he walked out of practice, walked back up to the school, and looked everyone in the eye like, you chumps with your sweatshirts.
So he didn't complain?
Not once.
Okay, then that's great.
We had guys standing around with their hands down their pants.
Yeah.
Cold. He just stood there like the man's man he is. And I thought, we have, as a society, evolved into being just wussified.
Yeah.
20 degrees, wussed out the entire team, except for Max.
That was us last week when that sleet was happening and it was so cold. And our main coach was like, we're having practice. And these poor little kids were crying. And then one kid goes, how is this even right? He asked that question. I go, you know what? That's a great question because I'm freezing. My mascara's running.
I had 2 dozen kids. Coach, are we done? Are we done yet? Are we almost done? And this kid stood there.
Yeah.
Like he was saving the world.
Losers.
Just hasn't fully evolved yet from that caveman status.
But that's my kind of guy. He's not going to complain about other stuff that normal people complain about.
I looked at him and I said, son, when you discover fire, your world is going to change. And he grunted.
Yeah.
That was it. So, Max, I salute you today. Not fully evolved, man.
The Playhouse Podcast is made possible thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices. Catch the live show weekdays from 5:30 to 9 on 104.7 KCLD. Now, share this with a friend.